Aloha, everyone. Welcome. It's so great to see all of you here today. Tuesday, it's a gorgeous morning here in Hawaii. The sun is just peeking up over the horizon. And wherever are in the world, I hope that the day is just as lovely. I have a few announcements I would like to make. Keep in mind that this year there will be a lot of new things emerging for Jan Wakefield Awakened. The first is I am about two-thirds of the way through my manuscript for a book. It is the story of how I kind of came to be a channeler. It's really interesting. I've included a lot of stories along the way of how I evolved in the process of becoming better at tapping into the energies of the other dimensions. So, for those of you who have that question a lot, you're wondering how to hear, understand, connect with dimensional beings, you're in the right place because a course is also coming along, and where I will actually be teaching people how to acquire and hone and use that skill and use it effectively. In addition to that, I have a couple other mini courses that will be coming up, animal communication and relationship work. I did mini courses last year in the same topics, so we'll be doing those again. The Dimensional Kids group is really expanding. What a wonderful and amazing group of children. If you have a child who has extraordinary abilities, or you would like to explore the possibility that they'd like to be part of that conversation, just reach out to me directly. I made the kids group. There is a public one, but the one where the children are meeting is actually private. The parents have asked that we protect that space, and I think it's a really good idea. So if you have a child, a grandchild who you think might be a good fit for that community, just reach out to me and I'll add you to the kids group. The kids group is meeting every second Saturday of the month, and it is anyone's welcome. And it's been a lot of fun. They've learned about power animals and how to journey. And this last week, we talked about how to channel. And surprisingly, children are very good at just saying what they know, as you all have probably experienced. And the children, some of them were just completely open to hopping on and channeling for the other kids. It's really delightful to watch. It's inspiring, I think, too, for their parents to participate in the same activities. In addition, there will be a membership program that's going to start in March. I'm super excited about that. There will be benefits for members where you'll have early access to courses, early access to retreats, and other bonuses as well. The retreats this year are already in the works. There will be one for children and families that will be here in Hawaii, and a second one that will be in Bali, Indonesia. I've been getting a lot of interest from all of you about the Bali trip. Just a heads up, there are only approximately 10 spaces. I rent out a private villa when I'm there. We are all there together. It's shared accommodation, but it is quite a beautiful property, extensive grounds, and it is just lovely. So I think for those of you who are interested in ticking Bali off the bucket list, it's a great way to be introduced to Bali and all of the wonderful experiences there. All right. Great. Yep. Tatiana, I'll go ahead and make you, I just have to find you on the screen. I'll make you an admin. Okay. Thank you again for being here. I really do appreciate you. Let's see. I am not seeing Tatiana. Oh, there you are. All right. All right. So the volunteers are going to be reading. Yesterday, I met some new dimensional beings, which is really great. Feline group. So I'm hoping they'll show up just to participate and observe today. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's get started. Go ahead and close your eyes and allow yourself to tap into your natural breathing. So, what that means is just relax and allow yourself to breathe naturally and begin to scan your body for any areas of tension. I always notice that I tighten up the muscles in my face or my scalp, so I like to breathe a little bit of space into areas of tension. It's such a nice way to remind yourself to relax, remain calm, release all the thoughts and feelings of the day. And as you scan your body, be sure you're looking at how you're feeling. Do you have any emotions going on? Are any of the emotions associated with the tension in your body? If so, use the in-breath to create space in those areas. And exhale love and connection. Love and connection with your own heart and with those around you in this space. Dimensional beings are arriving in the space. We have quite a few today. Now take a moment to check in with your feet. Where are they on the surface beneath you? Are they on the floor? Are you standing somewhere? And be aware of your connection to the earth, as today the dimensional beings will talk a little bit more about the importance of the symbiotic relationship you have with your earth and how this connection is integral to what many of your kind describe as disclosure. Disclosure is imminent on your planet, and it is coming so rapidly, and it begins here in spaces such as these, where you are remembering and reconnecting with your heart. So, continuing to keep your eyes closed, we, the Blue Healers, will guide and direct you through 2 breath practices to prepare you for the information you will receive today. So take a moment now to acknowledge and identify your 8th energy center. And as you gaze upon the 8th energy center, just above the head, notice the size of it. And notice that the size may change depending on the day, depending on your mood. The 8th energy center, as a reminder, is the collective information of all of humanity. And so, with your attention on 8, begin with your next in-breath, breathing from 8 to 1 in a spiral around your spine. And release from 1 to 8. Of course, breathe at your own pace. We will give you a guideline. Breathe in from 8 to 1. Release 1 to 8. In 8 to 1. Notice how rapidly the tension in your body is released. Release 1 to 8. Breathe in 8 to 1. Release 1 to 8. In 8 to 1. Release 1 to 8. Breathe in 8 to 2. Release 2 to 8. In 8 to 2. 2 is just below the belly button. Release 2 to 8. In 8 to 3. Release 3 to 8. In 8 to 3. 3 is at the solar plexus, where the ribs come together on your body. Release 3 to 8. In 8 to 4 at the heart. Release 4 to 8. In 8 to 4. Release 4 to 8. In 8 to 5 at the throat. Release 5 to 8. In 8 to 5 at the throat. Lift your chin slightly to expand that area wide. Release 5 to 8. In 8 to 6. Release 6 to 8. In 8 to 6. 6 is at the center of the head. Release 6 to 8. In 8 to 7. Release 7 to 8. In 8 to 7, at the crown of the head. Notice how wide it becomes when you breathe with intention into that energy center. Release 7 to 8. And again, breathe in from 8 to 1, continuing the spiral. Release 1 to 8. Breathe in 8 to 1. Release 1 to 8. Breathe in 8 to 1. Release 1 to 8. And resume your natural breathing, checking in with your physical body and recognizing the beautiful space you've created within yourself. And now take a moment to focus your attention on your feet, wherever they are, on the floor or beneath you is fine. The feet have energy centers within them. They are the shape of your eyes. They open and close much as your eyes do. They open to receive and they close to release. The energy centers on your feet are your connection to your planet. And so, with your attention on your feet, the next in breath, breathe in through the feet, up the legs to the heart. Allow the heart to expand wide. Now release, exhale down the arms through the palms. Again, breathe in through the feet to the heart. Release, exhale down the arms through the palms, in through the feet to the heart. Release down the arms through the palms, in through the feet to the heart. Release down the arms through the palms, placing the hands on your heart. Breathe in through the feet to the heart. Release down the arms through the palms. Breathe in through the feet to the heart. Release down the arms through the palms. Breathe in through the feet to the heart. Release down the arms through the palms. In through the feet to the heart. Release down the arms through the palms. Place the hands on your belly. Breathe in through the feet to the heart. Release down the arms through the palms. One more time. In through the feet to the heart. Release down the arms through your palms. Relaxing your arms, resume your natural breathing. Today you have activated the vagus nerve in the human body with the spiral breath. This activation of the vagus nerve creates communication patterns throughout the body. The second form of breath, in through the feet, was connecting the earth energies to the tips of, the very reaches of, the vagus nerve in the body. And it recycles the information and energy back up to the brain and out to the eighth energy center. This form of balance is extremely important for those of you who wish to communicate with the dimensional beings. So, this information is all we will transmit to you today about the process of communication. It is now time for you to practice the breath and allow your body to respond in turn, meaning that your perceptual abilities will become more heightened. You will be able to, over the course of time, throughout the months of this year, increase your abilities to communicate with the unseen world. We would like to introduce the beings who are in this space. You can remain eyes closed or eyes open. Either way is fine. And continuing the spiral breath would be an excellent way to spend your time during this session. Today, the violet people are here. These beings are very curious today because they, for the first time, participated in your breath practices, the ones that we did today. It is interesting to us because their color has changed to a very deep purple, a deep violet color, almost black, and their communication, or as you would see it, their vibrational pattern and frequency, has slightly changed. They are moving into your space if you grant them permission. And in granting them permission, with the thoughts in your mind, they will, without effort, move into your space for the purposes of healing. There is again the feline race that visited us yesterday. They are here to observe and perhaps will engage in conversation if they feel one or more of your questions would be served by the answers that they have. The 12th dimensional beings are in the space, and we, the blue healers, will translate. We will take your first question.
Thank you. Our first question is from Cheryl. Dear Blue Healers, do you have any guidance for me in regards to my life's purpose and what I should explore or try next? Thank you for your love and all that you do.
Cheryl, we thank you for your question, and we have spoken with you at length about this topic already. So for today, our message to you is simply to remember your practice and in being rather than doing. So many of you are very comfortable with the doing part of your life. You wish to be active and seeking and searching, and instead it is a time now for being, for sensing, for breathing, for participating in the inward conversation. And so, Cheryl, for you, the time is upon you where all the work that you have done in the past has come to fruition. You know exactly what you need to do. And the messages that come to you are thwarted somewhat by your need for or your desire to accomplish something, your desire to figure it out. Instead, be who you are in your heart. Be in a state of coherence and love between your heart, your mind, and your belly. Tap into your feet now, recognizing that the earth energies are here to remind you of being calm, of being grounded, of not floating away into some form of dissociation from the human experience. We mean this very lovingly because many like to use meditation or practices to escape the feelings and sensations of being human. Instead, sit in the experience in your heart, loving every beautiful, messy human thing you get to do. That is the fastest way to liberation from the human experience itself. We will take your next question.
Thank you. The next question comes from Deepa. I struggle with connecting to the fifth dimension. What am I missing? Can you give me guidance? How can I connect to the blue beings directly? Can they tell me my starseed and my purpose and how to fulfill my mission?
Hello, Deepa. These questions are very common amongst your kind, and we will answer them to the general audience. Connecting to us and connecting to your starseed information, and this information is for all of you, is a process. For some of you, you would like to communicate with us using the exact same ways that you communicate with your fellow humans or even with your animals. The truth is, it is the same concept, yet it is much, much more. Your perceptual abilities were with you at birth. You brought them with you when you came from the fourth dimension, when you chose to transition back into the 3D reality. This is why your children live in a state of fantasy, as you call it. They live in a state of connectedness that is so far from what adult humans are accustomed to. However, the information resides within you, and now you are all here practicing the abilities to tap into the other dimensions as a way to communicate with the beings that are already all around you. And so we have given you numerous breath practices to use to bring yourself quickly, very quickly, into a state of what you call coherence or connected into the quantum field. So the easiest way for you to connect to and communicate with dimensional beings that are in the unseen world is through connecting energy center 9 to energy center 0. You see, you all are a representation of the quantum field, and this quantum information goes down through your spine, and it connects your information of who you are as a human to the quantum field of all information. When you are able to move aside your thoughts through meditation, through acceptance of every experience you have in the human realm, and we pause to give you a moment to think about that, you will be in the quantum energy, the channel within your spine. This is where the communications are arriving, and they delineate out to the sensory perceptions you have as a human. Seeing is just one small part of the experience. Hearing, feeling, tasting, sensing. Your body has so many wonderful ways of perception. And for many of you, when you achieve coherence within the brain, the heart, and the belly, the vibrational frequencies come in. And then what happens? They hit your nervous system. They rise up the spine to your brain, which is already attempting to create images, experiences, thoughts, stories to support what you are perceiving. For many of you, you say to yourselves, "Am I making this up?" Well, of course you are. You are creating the images in your mind. This is the greatest gift of the human body when it comes to perceiving and communicating with the other dimensions. So then, our question to you will be this: why do you not trust what you are conjuring in your mind? Why do you have to reject it immediately, as if this made up thing is somehow not the communication that you seek? And so we circle back to accepting every experience you have in the human form, which is a fast way to get into coherence. To accept every experience you are having, whether it is pain, persistent thoughts, annoying experiences, struggles with relationships, struggles with your own mind and your body. When you lean into the acceptance of it, you will see that it is vibrational patterns and frequencies of information coming to you from where? That is a question you can continually ask yourselves. Where is this information coming from? Why does my body hurt? Why are my relationships so very why are my relationships so very challenging? Acceptance is communication. Acceptance is saying to the universe, I give to you my coherent heart, and I accept this information as it presents itself to me. So take a moment and close your eyes. For those of you aware of your starseed origins, your starseed connections, please call those beings into the space. For those of you as of yet unfamiliar with your starseed origins, call them into your space as well. The room has gotten very crowded. And so here you are in the company of your starseed information, beings who are here to communicate with you. And what is happening in your body? Are you feeling pain? Are you feeling tension? If so, breathe into that area of your body, creating space. For those of you with a little more skill already in this area, turn your palms up on your lap. Keep your body relaxed. Continue to breathe into your heart. Perhaps some of you are connecting by using the spiral breath. Some of you are using the heart breath. Continue your breath, whatever one you have chosen, and now begin to sense and feel where your dimensional starseed being is in relationship to your body. Are they behind you, to your right, to your left? The way you will know is through the sensations in your body. Does one arm feel heavier than the other? Do you feel a presence behind you that you know is not someone in your household? Do you feel something on your palms? Is your dimensional star seed being holding your hand in this moment? Trust the sensations in your body. The moment your mind rejects the possibility of what you perceive, you are outside of the experience again. Focus on the breath. Remind yourself again that you are sensing where your starseed being is in relationship to your body. And now use the breath to take it one step further. If your dimensional being is holding your hand, breathe in through that palm to the heart. If they are behind you, breathe in through the back of the heart to your heart and expand the heart wide. And simply exhale in a way that feels comfortable to you. It could be out your other palm, down your legs to your feet, out through the top of your head. It doesn't matter. Tap into the energy of your dimensional friend. Breathe in from the energy center closest to them, to the heart. And exhale. And continue this process, of course, at your own pace. With the breath, you are drawing information in. You are communicating now with your dimensional being. Some of you are feeling a little afraid, and that is okay. You are afraid that you are doing it wrong. That is impossible. You are afraid that maybe you are making it up. That is impossible. And now that you sense the vibrational pattern and frequency of your starseed being, catalog that information in your human brain. Remind yourself that this is what it feels like. And as you continue this gentle breath, communicating with your starseed friend, you may ask questions. Continue the breath. Perceive the answer in whatever way it comes to you. Try to avoid choosing how to understand. And as you continue this communication, notice the changes in your physical body. Where else are you tingling? Where else do you feel expansion? Perhaps their presence has activated something else within you. Just simply notice, what is that? And now, if you have not already done so, begin to perceive with an image in your mind. What does this being look like? Even if you see one feature, focus on that. It could be fingers, an arm. It could be how tall it feels, features of the face and head. And now take a moment to feel what element is associated with this being. Is it earth or air, fire, water, ether, or something that you don't even know yet, an element that humans have not yet found within the universe? You may perceive this element in your mouth through the taste, sensory perception, through your nose, wherever you are feeling the sensation of the element. Simply notice it and bring a sense of delight into your heart. How wonderful it is that your abilities to communicate have expanded. And if you are that person saying, I am never able to do this, it is only that thought in your mind that prevents you. And now once again notice the changes in your body. Are you able to breathe more deeply? Are you able to hear things more acutely? And whatever you perceive, allow yourself to believe in you, in your heart, in your abilities. And now, whatever way is comfortable for you, relax the body completely. Ask your starseed being to remain with you. We are going to bring you back into the 3D experience a little more, and thus you understand how to go from one dimension to the fifth dimension, to another dimension. And so breathe deeply into your belly. Bring your intention down to your feet, feeling the surface beneath them. Perhaps you'll take a breath or two through the feet to the heart. Your dimensional being is still with you. You need not worry. Continue to tap into your body, feeling your feet on the surface beneath. And holding the sensation of the dimensional being with you, open your eyes. As your eyes are involved in the experience, turn your gaze inward and notice you are still connected to your dimensional being. You are still connected to the unseen world, even with your eyes open. And some of you may close your eyes again to re-tap in. This is perfectly okay. The practice today is for you to understand how to connect to your dimensional friend and how to be in this world and still connect to them at the same time. And for those of you adept at this process, your human metabolism will rise rapidly. Be aware of this as you continue the process. We will take another question.
Thank you. The next question is from Louisa. Dear Blue Healers, I had an experience that felt like astral travel or remote viewing. What really stood out was a large manta or stingray shaped being made of light that was traveling alongside me, almost as if accompanying me. I'm curious if there's any understanding around these manta-ray like beings and and whether they have a message for me.
It sounds as if you have already received the message from this being. This being is water-based or aquafarian, as you might state. Louisa, in your communications with this being, begin to recognize and see its form. On its belly side, it is wanting to show you its true nature. And it is through the process or the practice that we have just expressed to the whole group that you will begin to better uncover what they look like, truly look like to you. These beings exist outside this dimension, outside of 3D. Yet there are many representatives of the same kind within your oceans. The recommendation for you would, would be to create an opportunity to experience these beings as they exist in your world, in the 3D world. Simply swimming in the water with them, watching them do what they naturally do, or going to a place, an aquarium, where they float by. Allow yourself to relax into communication with the 3D version. This would be an excellent start for you. The message they have for you is about freedom in the dimensional travel that you are already capable of doing. You call it astral travel. What a fun word that is, astral. Certainly that is a way to describe it, astral travel. Why not continue doing what you already know? But Louisa, we ask you this. You bring such wonderful questions to the space, and we wonder if you are asking these questions for yourself or for a wider audience. It is now your turn to ask questions for the wider audience, to bring awareness to a greater population, and to come into your own as far as you being the translator. The rays are currently in the space. They are seeking audience with Louisa, who is currently in another reality. And so, for anyone else in the space who would like to have communication with the Manta-Ray being, now is your time. Simply ask questions directly to them. We will take the next question, please.
Thank you. The next question comes from Oneness. My friends, in the meditation we did together, I felt so at home in two, great love in three, and power in five, yet my force felt strangely removed. When I shifted frequency to find it, it reminded me most of the perfection of a black hole with a very refined resonance. If I perceived it all correctly, I believe you communicated something to me about it being a dimensional gateway. This became somewhat clearer during the meditation, but I'd love you to unpack it with regard to myself and also humans in general.
How wonderful is this question? And we love the idea that you describe yourself as a dimensional gateway. All humans are essentially dimensional gateways, yet not all humans are capable of opening the gateway to communications. Let us amend that. All humans are capable, yet not all humans at this time are capable. Oneness. We would like to better describe and answer your question in a way that is something that all can benefit from. You are a being who has great ability for dimensional communication. Yet there is also a portal, a dimensional gateway that is within the land, not far from where you live. And this portal is what you described as the perfect or perfection of a black hole. This portal is bringing communication and information to you from other places in the universe. And for us, we wonder if you are already aware of the location of this place. There are similar ones throughout the world, and these portals require gatekeepers. They require individuals who are the stewards of the portal. And you, Oneness, are and have always been a steward of this portal. It sounds a little bit different than perhaps you are imagining in your mind. In other words, you do not stand there opening and closing the door. You are instead an energetic network of information that allows communication to go through the portal and to come through the portal to back to you. And in doing so, you become or have become or are considered to be an assistant to the many dimensional beings who travel through or communicate through this portal. Our message to the greater group is these portals are not places of play. They are not places you wish to seek out in order to just see what the process is, what the experience is. And some of you could do that. However, know that you could end up in a different place entirely. There is a vortex of information, and there is a vortex that is a travel canal to other places. And for some of you in your minds already, you're thinking that sounds extremely cool. Let's head off and do that as soon as possible. Just be mindful that when you are in the mouth of the portal, that information comes from numerous locations in the distant parts of the universe. And you may be a very fine radio receiver. And in the reception process, you may find that it is more potent, powerful, or simply different than you expect. And so be aware that for those of you who have affinities for the portals throughout the world, the earth realm, meaning that you are able to communicate by being part of the earth and part of the other dimensions. At the same time, you may get to go on a ride that is unexpected. Oneness for you, specifically, you can harness the energy and the information of the portal that is nearby. First, however, there needs to be an understanding of how to prepare your 3D body for the experience. So do not go lightly into the communication process yet with the portal until you fully understand how to prepare your 3D body to transmit the communications to and from the portal itself. We will come back to this topic for you, oneness, in the next meeting we have together. In speaking of it, the activation begins, and that means that you will need to integrate this information before we speak more to you about it. We will take your next question, please.
Thank you. The next question comes from Sergey. Dear Blue Healers, is there an order for our incarnation experiences from higher dimensions to lower? Do we experience lives in higher dimensions before coming to Earth? In my galactic readings, I bring history of many incarnations before coming to this experience. Can you please share your perspective?
Oh, how fun this question is, and we can't wait to give you answers for the many aspects of it. Sergey, yes, of course, you've had many, numerous experiences in this dimension, 3D, that you call past lives, and many experiences in other dimensions as well. Very few of you are actually, if any of you, are actually from this planet, planet Earth. And in addition to the idea that there is an order to it, so one lifetime after another, there is also the concept that you have multiple lifetimes, or as you call it, timelines, happening simultaneously. Perhaps you are. Perhaps you are existing in this timeline here in this body, and also in another dimension in every moment that you are here. So we are fascinated by we are fascinated by your question in a way because you have presented a question with the answers already attached to the question. Yes, of course, you have had numerous experiences throughout lifetimes. This is true for all of you. And now we believe what you are asking is And perhaps you will need to clarify the question for another time. We believe what you are asking is, what experiences have you had prior to this incarnation as you, who you are now, this being that you are now, prior to coming here? And perhaps you would also like to know, how does that information from those previous lifetimes and experiences translate into who you are becoming in your purpose here on this planet? So yes, you have had 3D experiences prior to this one. You have also had other dimensional incarnations, using a word from humanity that is a great way to describe the possibilities. You have had incarnations in other dimensions as other beings, within lifetimes and between human lifetimes. This simply means that the information that you bring through in this lifetime is far closer to your understanding, your abilities, and the work that you are doing today and throughout this lifetime. It is much easier for you to access this information. You had a recent incarnation, an experience within the seventh dimension, and there you were quite productive. And there, this information spliced into your human DNA to become who you are today. And so it is as if you have the two-strand DNA from your parents in this lifetime, as a human, as Sergey, yet there is also the DNA strand from the seventh dimension that feeds into your central nervous system. It is part of who you are. This is what gives you unique abilities and gifts, and it is why your child has come to you specifically, because she also came from that place. Your relationship with her in that place was slightly different, yet you have come together to fulfill a purpose on this planet for the beings of the seventh dimension. They say that at this time, asking this question for you will activate the information, but you already know what it is. You already know what you are here to do. It is simply that you have enjoyed so much the human experience that you have dialed down the frequency of the additional DNA strand coming in for the joy and love and fun of being a human. And so many of you do the same, and this is why you come to your planet. You come to the planet Earth to enjoy the experiences of being human. And then often many of you promptly proceed to make it a challenge, to struggle with the pleasures of the planet and all it has to offer. And so the message for all of you is to remember that you are here to have a good time. It is as if Earth is an amusement park. And for those of you who attend amusement parks and you enjoy the heck out of it, you are best suited to enjoy the heck out of your human experience as well. For those of you who struggle with amusement parks in the 3D world, you go there and it is one trauma and discussion after another, fights, challenges, anxiety. You may need to discover within yourself the beauty of what it means to have fun in all moments of your life, even if you are struggling. So, Sergey, welcome home to your heart. Welcome home to the seventh dimensional information. And welcome home to remembering who you are in this world. It is up to and through your 47th year of life on the human world that you will expand and emerge within yourself and in relationship to your daughter. And the two of you will develop a way of being together, a partnership, if you will, that comes from the seventh dimensional experience that you've had. You and your daughter will develop as a team. And at the end of this lifetime, for you, your daughter will carry on the information. And it will impact the lineage of not only your family, but the human starseeds associated with your kind. So know that the age of 47 in your human years will be a time where you and your daughter embark on an adventure, a journey, where you will simultaneously impact the world greatly, but also it will be a financial venture. So, a way that you support your family financially. You will ask more questions along the way, but we will stop here. We will take another question, please.
Thank you. We are at 1 hour. And our next question comes from Ursula. Dear dimensional friends, over the past few years, I've occasionally felt a light tingling or pulsing sensation on my upper back, sometimes on or to the left side of my spine. Is that Kundalini or spiritual guides or something else?
Please describe for us the location once again.
I've occasionally felt a light tingling or pulsing sensation on my upper back, sometimes on or to the left side of my spine.
The answer to this is twofold. You have a structural inconsistency within the spine of your human body that needs a little bit of love. In addition to that, every human has an opening in the energy system, the orb that surrounds the physical body. Yes, it is obvious that information comes in through the base of the spine, the top of the head, but there is also a small opening for each human in the energy field. And for you, Ursula, this is where your opening exists. This is where information from the dimensions will come through that is more specific to you in communicating with your very own starseed origin. So for all of you, please close your eyes. Relax into your bodies. Tension has cropped up in many of you during this time, so allow your body to relax again. And now sense the energy center 7 at the crown of the head. Notice that your beautiful human energy flow comes out through the top of the head, much like a water fountain. It circles around the body, about the width of the outstretched arms, down into the earth, and then up between the legs, entering in the base of the spine, rising up the spine to the top of the head, and the cycle continues endlessly, all around you, producing an orb-like energy field that is your own. It is not an energy field that is outside of the third dimension. This is a 3D experience. For each of you, look within your energy field. This cycle of energy out the top of the head, touching 8, circling around the body, down to the earth, up through 1, back out through the top of the head. Now you are within your energy orb, the energy field of your 3D body. Turn your head slowly from side to side. Begin looking for the tiny opening. Sense and feel it. For Ursula, it comes in from behind, and the majority of you cannot turn your head completely around. So you may need to sense and feel it in other ways. This opening, this opening is your portal, your connection to your starseed information. And now for those of you who have identified where it is located, congratulations. You can now move it around. Perhaps you want it directly in front of you, and maybe slightly off to one side or the other, so you can keep an eye on it. Take that opening, use your finger if necessary, and drag it to where you want it to be. The reason, Ursula, this opening in the back, where you had it, was creating an imbalance in your spinal column is because it was transmitting information, and you were not yet able to hear it. Today is your day where the opening has come through to you, a vibrational frequency. Be sure, however, to bring a little love to your spine in that area so that your body can transmit the information through the spinal column out through the nerves in a way that is much more productive for you. We have had a tremendous amount of fun today, a lot of learning, a lot of awakening, a lot of experiences. And so within you and within your heart, you have the memories of all of these experiences, finding the opening in your energy field where your starseed information comes through, identifying and understanding your energy field as it cycles around your 3D body, tapping into and understanding how you perceive your starseed beings. It has been a very busy hour. Or has it only been an hour? We venture to say that time has changed a little for you. We want to thank you for being here today, bringing your beautiful hearts and the wonderful experiences of you. We have introduced new breath practices. Please use them if you would like to communicate with extra-dimensional, interdimensional, or any beings in the unseen world. There are some that exist even in 3D. We send out a tremendous amount of love from all the dimensional beings who are here in the space today. And now they recede from the space. We, the Blue Healers, are grateful to you for your continued communication, for your love and connection, and now we will recede from the space. All right, welcome home. That was pretty amazing. I know that some of you may have questions. There was a lot of information that came through today. So I'm going to give you the ability to unmute if you would like to ask a question about logistics or anything really, the messages that came through. Feel free to go ahead and unmute yourself now.
Hi, Jan. It's Deepa. How are you?
Hi, Deepa. I am well, thank you.
I am so grateful. Thank you so much. Um, I have so much gratitude for this space and everything that you do, and I'm grateful for my friend who brought me in. I would it be acceptable and okay to go further with um, personal time with you, or
Yes, of course. If one of the volunteers could please put the link for scheduling
I
in the
have it.
chat.
I
Thank
have
you.
it.
Okay, great.
But because I
Yes,
asked for a
absolutely.
question, like I just new to how this would be, but I'm so open to it, and I want to learn, and I want to evolve. So yes,
I feel that. I feel that right in my heart. And yes, uh, welcome. Glad you're here. Thank you for being here. If for those of you who don't know, in private sessions, the Q&A hour time is just for you. You can ask as many questions as you like. Generally, people come with lots of questions and we get through all of them. And then questions are answered that you didn't even know you were asking. So it's really great. I enjoy doing the private sessions more and more. And I've opened up more slots on my schedule. So go ahead and check out the schedule and see what works for you, Deepa.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Does anyone else have a question about today's session?
I have a question. My
Hi,
name's
Gabby.
Gabby. Hi. When we were doing the part where we were sitting with our eyes closed and connecting to different star seeds that are around us, I was feeling a lot of different communication from different sources that so I'm curious in your experience because you get a lot of flow. You're quite popular. So how do you navigate when you're feeling multiple different starseed origins coming in, and how do you figure out which to work more directly with? I think it's hard for me to kind of lean more into one origin without knowing yeah, I guess whatever, however you want to answer that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great question. I had somebody in a session yesterday who said a very similar thing. She said, I'm a Gemini and I'm getting information from all directions all the time. And I thought it was really sweet, the connection to astrology, because Geminis, of course, are the ones who are the jack of all trades. And so it's a great word to use. So you have an ability to perceive multiple sources of information. The way I handle it on my end is I have selected the blue healers. We had a communication together. And when the other beings started showing up, I made it very clear to everyone in the space. It's as if you're having a party and everyone's here and you want to say something, make a toast, that you just kind of command the space or the room. So I said to the other beings when they come in, I did have a couple times in my earlier channelings where the beings would like hijack my fifth energy center and take over, and my voice would completely change. But the agreement is that if they come into the space and I set the stage, they are respectful of me and my desires for having one group communicate, the Blue Healers. The Blue Healers have agreed to translate for everyone else. And then there are occasions where I will receive a request from one of the beings to communicate directly. And usually I'll say yes. There are occasions where I'll say, you're not allowed to communicate at all. It really just depends on the vibrational pattern and frequency. Because what I have discovered is when I try to allow too many to communicate, it gets very jumbled up in my human brain. That it's easier for me if I allow one group to communicate at a time. And they have a translator through the blue healers. The blue healers also are very adept at sifting through my brain. You could see times where I would pause and become quiet. Twofold purpose today. One is to avoid coughing, and the second was that they were searching for the words to speak. So you want to pick a group that you have around you that you feel most connected to, Gabby, and allow them to be the spokespeople for the rest. You may be gifted, however, in communicating all their voices. And if that's the case, just simply sink into what feels right for you. If you are wanting to have all the voices come through, then you will need to pause when you are tapping into those dimensional voices, the dimensional beings, and say to them, okay, get in line. I'll talk to you one at a time. And then it is you who's going to decide who speaks. You will point out, you will ask, you may even pause and ask what they want to say and decide whether or not you want them to say that. Because you are basically the voice for all of these beings who are in your space, and you want to be the moderator. Does that help?
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right, Ursula, you had a question?
Yes. Can you describe the violet beings a little bit more? We had a chat asking about it, and today you had noted that they seem deeper violet. So I imagine you have a sense of what they look like. Can you share it
Yeah.
with us?
hmm Yeah, they are very humanoid. They look almost exactly the ways we do, yet they are not so fancy as they like to describe themselves. They generally do not have hair. Some of them can if they elect to do so. They're very small creatures, very small beings, no taller than 5 feet. They have 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head, and they are proportioned very similar to the way a human is. And so they live within this solar system. They have not disclosed or identified where that is because they know that if they say it in this space, that there are Earth people who are capable of locating them. And so they do not wish to have that experience quite yet. So they come in through the fifth dimension to communicate with us. And the appearance they have in the fifth dimension, the communication here, is that they are violet in color because they are communicating through the sixth energy center, which the color represented here is, I'm sorry, indigo. So they're coming in through seven, violet, the top. So the information and the reason why they are violet in color is because of their method of communication through our energy centers. Today, it's funny that I pointed here because they were more indigo. So I'm wondering if they'll change colors altogether. Who knows? But they do change colors in front of me when they're communicating to me, to you. They will change colors based on the experiences that they're having, how they feel about the questions that are coming through. In other words, the way they change colors, it is part of their communication itself. So it's like their body language. Today, they decided to participate in the breath practice. They were very curious for some reason today about the breath practice. And so they all sat very obediently to my right, kind of out in an arc this way, almost starting to create a circle from my right side, very obediently seated just as we would if we were seated on the floor. And as they started the breath practice, the spiral breath practice, the colors became kind of bright and they changed quite a lot with each energy center they breathed into. When they completed that breath practice and we moved to breathing in through the feet to the heart, they also did that, drawing energies from our Earth rather than their own planet, their own space where they live. And when they did so, they turned completely indigo, very dark purple, almost black. And so,
Mm.
and they were delighted by the experience themselves. My understanding is the color is related to sensations for them within their bodies. So as they change colors, it is a vibrational pattern and frequency of communication, but they understand it through how it feels to them. Would you like more explanation or is that enough?
That's helpful. I was also wondering, do they all look identical or do they have like old, young, male, female variations like we do?
They have numerous variations. In the fifth dimension, they come across as being completely androgynous. They do not have gender. They do not come through as looking much different from one another, although the vibrational patterns and frequency of each one are different. And that gives me an idea in my mind to change the image of how I see them. On their own planet, we'll call it a planet, on
Yeah.
their own place where they live, they do have genders. They do have unique ways of looking. They are not so different from humans, but they have the ability to elect the way they look, which is very different from humanity. We just sort of show up as we are. And they do love shopping here on our planet because they like taking things back and they like participating in using things that we as humans have, clothing and other stuff.
So they wear clothes too?
They can, they
Or
don't have to.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So
it's more
interesting.
like kind of like we do. We don't really have to wear clothes, but we choose to. And we really prefer when people do because it's part of our culture. But if you look at humans, if we were to go back thousands of years, humans didn't wear clothes because it didn't exist. So it's a little bit like that, although they've evolved in the other direction.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see. Very
Dan,
interesting.
what
Thank
is
you.
the 12th dimension?
Mm. What
What
is
is
the 12th dimension?
the other dimension? You said that there were other dimensional beings beyond the fifth that were in the
Oh,
space.
there are innumerable dimensions, but currently only the first 12 have come into the space. So technically 5 through 12. And we can discuss more about the energy centers another time because that is a huge topic. I'm sorry, the energy centers and how they relate to the dimensions, but the about the dimensions specifically.
And do
Yeah.
any negative forces ever try to enter the space?
Um, that's a good question. It really depends on the vibrational patterns and frequencies within the individual who's channeling. And so for me, I have, through the course of time, and particularly working with the blue beings, been able to release the tension associated with my perceptual bias toward negativity and what that means. And so what happens is when beings come in and I feel something within myself that I would once have perceived as being scary, negative, combative, aggressive, anything like that, I immediately go into a breath practice with the blues and I adjust my perceptual abilities and my perception of those beings and see them for what they really are. So, a lot of the beings simply do not have the relationship to emotions or feelings the way we do. Some of them come across as feeling very aggressive. There are beings that are reptilian in nature or amphibious, and they will not, they're not mammalian, so they won't feel the same way that we do. Insectoid species, aquiferian species, when they come in, they all have their unique pattern and vibrational frequency. How I perceive them is a little bit about me. So when I have had, particularly the, let's see, reptilian beings, the first few times they came in, I was outright frightened because I've heard terrible things about them. So be careful what you read because reading is impression food, right? It's food that we take in and it impacts the way we perceive the world. So what we see, movies, etc., what we read, what we experience, the conversations that we have will dictate a lot of times how we perceive things. But if you wish to communicate or be in the dimensions and communicating with dimensional beings, you have to toss all of that out. You have to be willing to see it for what it is. Yes, there will be a filter coming through, but if I have anything within me in my heart, if I am out of coherence because I'm angry or frustrated, or I am currently believing the stories of war and hate on the human planet, then I will perceive that in the other beings. However, 100% of the time, when I tap into my breath and I allow all of that human stuff to fall away, I see them for what they are, which is, well, reptiles don't feel the same as bears. They feel very cold, and the way that they present themselves can be really come across as feeling distant or even angry because they don't have the emotions that we have. They're very direct and straightforward. Does that help?
It really does. You are beyond generous. Thank you. I love you.
Thanks for the question. Love you too. Simona?
Yeah, yes, thank you very much. It was a question in the chat, Telegram chat, about when the healing is happening, the energy is coming from blue beings or somewhere else. Can you help us to understand?
Yes. Do you mean specifically in the healing space that we are in or healing in general?
Specific in these sessions,
Okay, great. Wonderful
in
question.
this space.
Yes. So the beings have described this space. Every question and answer space is a healing space. And then, of course, we have the third Friday of the month, we do an actual dedicated healing time. So, what's happening during those times, from my perspective, is that the blue healers have a vibrational pattern and frequency of health and wellness. That is their whole purpose in the universe, in our universe specifically. They are here with us, humans, this particular group that I am channeling, and that those who are coming to translate for the other dimensional beings. So their vibrational pattern and frequency of health and wellness, those of course are human words, not theirs, transmit through me and directly to you, not through me, but directly from them to you, to remind your physical body of wellness. So for those who are ill, for those who have psychological things, like even as basic as you can't turn your mind off, what they're doing is they're reminding you again and again through the breath. That is their primary form of communication. So when you're in this space with the blue healers and you're breathing, which you're all breathing because you're all human, at least we hope you're breathing. So when you're breathing, you are breathing in the vibrational pattern and frequency of wellness. So yes, you are getting a direct healing energies from them. However, it's really you. You're the one doing the breathing. They are simply here as a reminder of what that vibrational pattern of wellness is for you. So it is co-creative or collaborative. In other words, they are not doing all the work. They are simply reminding you, and you are doing all the work. That distinction is really important when it comes to healing, because it is when we are able to, within ourselves, take responsibility, is the word that we say, although I don't know if I particularly love that word at this time. When we are willing to accept, acknowledge, and sink into our hearts in the vibrational frequency of love and connection, we automatically heal our own bodies. And so they're here reminding us of that. Many of you also have star seed beings who are in the space. They will transmit their vibrational pattern and frequency to you directly as well. And today we learned that it comes in through that opening in your energy field. So, in addition to the blue healers bathing you in love and connection, reminding your heart of coherence, you also have other dimensional beings. So, for me, I've got lots of different ones that come visit me now. It comes in through that tiny little opening in your energy field. And it's like a little wave of love saying, hey, don't forget us as well. Remember us as well, because that starseed information is going to bring to you your information of your purpose, not bring it to you, but activate it within you. And every single person I've ever worked with has asked me, what is my purpose? How do I connect to my purpose? It's a really great question for humans to ask. And we think that a lot of the answers are outside of ourselves. They truly are within. And the dimensional beings are simply reminding us of that vibrational frequency. Comes in like a little wave, as if to tap you on the shoulder to say, you got this, you know this, and I'm just reminding you. So it's kind of like the vibration of love saying, yeah, you're pretty amazing. You're special, unique, and cool. And what you're doing here is really great. So that's a reminder to all of us. Was that answer sufficient?
Yeah, so beautiful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you all again for being here today. I'm going to send you lots of love from Hawaii. I appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you next Tuesday.